Welcome back, Pokemon fans. Angel of the Night here. We are back again with the Grand Challenge 2025, Part 1. And of course, this is battle number 27. Now, our opponent today is Yarvis. They've got themselves an Annihilate and a Maushold, whereas I have Amoonguss and Maushold. One thing we have to take note here is that the fact of the pairing of the opposing team could be a big issue, because if they actually do go for a Terrestrialization with Annihilate into a different type, they could potentially go for the Population Bomb or even beat up into Annihilate, causing it to boost up the stat power of Rage Fist. So that could be a huge issue coming into my team. With my team here, of course, there's a couple of options that I could go for. I could technically go for the Population Bomb into their Maushold, but I could also go for a redirect with the Amoonguss. In this situation here, it looks like they've actually withdrawn their Maushold and they've decided to go into their Gholdengo, probably suspecting the whole Population Bomb situation. I've decided to go in for the Terrestrialization here, and we are changing the Tera type of the Maushold into Ghost. Definitely an unusual typing. You would only want to have this really if there's a Pokemon on the opposing side that would potentially have Fake Out or some sort of like a fighting type move. In this situation here, they decided to go for a close combat with the Annihilate, but of course it did not hit the Maushold. The Population Bomb, of course, did not get into their Maushold because they went to the Ghost-type Gholdengo. So now there are two Ghost-type Pokemon on the opposing side. The only thing I can really do is really go for a Bite. I thought maybe perhaps I could go for a Tidy Up and maybe boost up some stats, but realistically, Bite's probably the better option. The next choice here is, of course, we do have to get some damage off onto some of these Pokemon that are opposing us. And that's exactly what we're going to try here. We're going to try to lock in and get some damage off. Now, the two Ghost-type Pokemon on the opposing side, this is not the best type matchups for us, but they're going to actually withdraw Yarvis. Yarvis is going to withdraw his Annihilate, rather, and he's going to go into his own Amoonguss. That way, any kind of redirects won't really happen in this situation. We went for the Bite, and of course, it looks like they have the Rocky Helmet. Maybe they were thinking I was going to go for Population Bomb, but, I mean, Annihilate is a Ghost-type Pokemon, so Population Bomb wouldn't really work. Amoonguss, of course, we've gone for the Spore, and of course, we cannot put to sleep the Gholdengo because of the Good as Gold ability. So that kind of puts us into a little bit of a pickle here. So we're going to go in for the Bite into the Gholdengo, and then of course we're going to go for the attack into the Amoonguss, just in case, you know, they decide to maybe swap out to a different Pokemon altogether. Now, of course, you can see the Rage Powder coming in from the Amoonguss. That's basically going to redirect all of the attacks directly into their Amoonguss. So that means that the Bite is going to go into their Pokemon, and we're going to get some Rocky Helmet damage. Here's the nasty plot with the Gholdengo. Of course, they went for the Rage Powder, so that way they could get the boost of their special attack. We have the Sludge Bomb, of course, coming into play, and that is going to do very little damage to their Amoonguss. Now, one thing I could technically do is maybe swap out one of these Pokemon, maybe go for like an Encore into another. There's really not a whole lot of options here for me, and realistically, I don't really want Amoonguss to wreak havoc onto a fresh Pokemon that comes in. We want to hold on to the Pokemon that I have in behind for that Annihilate that comes back into play. I was really hoping to be able to get a Bite off onto the Gholdengo, but that's just definitely not the case. We knew that there was going to be a Make It Rain here coming into play, so both of my Pokemon are actually just knocked out. But we are very close to getting that Amoonguss out of there, so that way there's no issues later on in the battle. Now, of course, you can see my Amoonguss goes down as well. It's kind of a bad situation all around, because two Pokemon down at the very beginning of a battle doesn't really help. Now, we do have Zebstrika, and we do happen to have our Paldea and Firebred Tauros, and of course, you know, we do have some pretty wicked moves for them. If I do end up going for a Rock Slide, I might be able to take out Amoonguss, as well as do a little bit of damage onto the Gholdengo. Then, of course, you know, I have high horsepower. I also have the Flame Charge. But one thing that Gholdengo tends to go for as well is also a Tera Flying. That could also pose to be an issue, especially if I lock into high horsepower. But they end up going for the Tera here, and my worst case scenario probably just came into play. Here is a Dragon Gholdengo. Now, definitely not what I thought was going to happen. Maybe I was thinking it was just going to stay as a normal Gholdengo. Maybe they would have Terra'd the Annihilate later on. I have no idea. But they ended up going for a Rage Powder here, which is going to redirect all of my moves into the Amoonguss, which is unfortunate because Zebstrika is actually faster. We get a little bit of damage there from the Rocky Helmet, and of course we also have the Life Orb, which is also going to take some damage as well. With the Tauros, of course, we're going to go in for the Raging Bull. Raging Bull not really going to do anything here because of the Dragon-type resistance. And of course, here's the Make It Rain, which is then going to be able to pick off the remainder of my team. So good game out to my opponent. You played very well. If you guys enjoyed the battle there today, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. Post your comments in the comment section below. And I will catch you guys in the next battle. Take care, have a good one, and peace out.